This year's Monster Pods are brought to you by the Kentucky Derby Betting Challenge and our friends over at twinspires.com. The KDBC is back this year with a guaranteed $250,000 purse. Head over to twinspires.com today, click the Tournaments tab, and get all the information you need on how to buy in or qualify for horse racing's newest major tournament. The Monster Pod continues with a horse that's actually a Grade 1 winner. Not getting a whole lot of attention, though, because that Grade 1 came as a 2-year-old. Seems like he is certainly going to go if he can get in. Will he get in? Still an open question, and one that we will ask our guest, who joins us now from the Double Trouble live show and does work. He's going to be doing some work for us on the In the Money Plus side. We need to figure out exactly what that's going to look like. Production meeting, we'll leave that one for outside the show. But the man of whom I speak, I've known him forever. We got into this game together, and I don't know if we blame each other or love each other for this rabbit hole we've been down for the last years. Frank Scatoni, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing excellent, Pete. I blame you, but there's someone else I blame, and I only bring this up because someone mentioned this on the show on DoubleTroubleLive.com the other day. The name Renee Douglas came up.
Yes.
And I said there are two people I owe either thanks to or to. It's Pete Fornatale for taking me to the Belmont Stakes in 1996, and for Renee Douglas, pickup mount, riding editor's note to victory that year. My first bet ever made as a New York editor. I had to bet that. So here I am. So you and Renee Douglas in the same week. Lucky me.
The Panamanian journeyman, as our friend Dom described him. And anyway, that's a story for another podcast. We're here to talk Intrepido. What do you think of this horse? What did you think of him when he won the Faro? What did you think of him heading into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile? What do you think of him now?
I thought his American Faro race was absolutely fantastic. I was looking for him as kind of a wise guy under the radar horse. I thought his comeback in the Lewis was pretty solid. Then I go, Mullins has a plan. He's going to skip the San Felipe, come back with a fresh horse, win the Santa Anita Derby, have enough points to go on to Kentucky. It did not work out like that at all. I thought his race that day in the Santa Anita Derby was very, very disappointing. And yes, I know he was 4 wide and a little farther back than he likes to be, but so was the winner. The winner was 3 wide, and they were basically moving in tandem at some point. So happy, hit the top of the lane, kicked on, and Intrepido found nothing. And look, I know trainers like to play games. Sometimes they tell you the truth. Sometimes they equivocate. Sometimes they just don't even know, right? Like it's if you try to like go with what a trainer says, good luck, your head will spin. But Brad Free does great reporting out here in Southern California. And if you go back and read his stuff on Daily Racing Form, you know, the Mullins confidence level was not good. He basically said, if you read between the lines, this was not his choice. This is something the owners wanted to do.
Interesting.
Now, whether that's, you know, cold watering or playing poker or whatever, I don't know. But that gave me a little cause for pause. And I just don't think he's fast enough. I don't think he can get to that level where he will be fast enough. If you go back, every one of his races, except for that Breeders' Cup where he broke from the rail, he is a terrific gate horse. He's headed in front right when the gates open. So getting position early and having that tactical speed is an asset for him. But I'm not sure he wants any part of the distance. I'm not sure he wants any part of if things don't go, you know, his own way, even though he did have a little trouble in the American Faro. Let's face it, this group out here in California is not very good. I don't like anybody from out here, to be perfectly honest with you, Pete.
But you've anticipated several of my questions. The Mullins quote about not implying that it was an owner-picked spot, was that before the Santa Anita Derby or since the Santa Anita Derby?
I'm pretty sure it was since, because I just read this yesterday while I was preparing for the show.
Gotcha.
Where, you know, Brad Free had written about, because the horse was on the fence, but then the horse worked really well, and now But there was another weird quote where they asked him, well, if the horse doesn't get into the Derby, will you pick another spot for him that day? And he was like, no.
Huh.
So it's Derby or bust, I mean, like, which I think is
strange.
very weird, which makes me think that he doesn't think the horse is probably ready for a travel and a win, maybe. I don't know. Again, I don't want to play this game. I don't want to pretend to know. I know what's going on in a trainer's head, but it's not what I would want to hear or see from a massive or a potential top 5 Derby contender.
What I would say about that last race, and I like Hector Berrios, and the Southern California riders and their tendencies much more than me, and we'll get to how people can listen to you and watch you talk about that on a regular basis while betting in real time, which is a great thing you guys do over at Double Trouble Live. But I thought it was a horrific ride because he didn't break poorly. He broke alertly, and then seemed to be tactics where he was. You make a great point that the winner had a similar enough trip. I'm not saying, this is an excuse, and he did no running subsequently and was beaten 10 lengths. But am I not right about the ride being bad?
You're 100% right. And actually, that was like the time where, like, Berrios was being a little funky with his dirt rides. Like, he was not in the zone. So the fact that you say that is 100% correct. But you and I like to use Racing Flow numbers. It was a slightly closer bias track that day. So the horse should have finished better than he did. That's for sure. But yeah, this horse has terrific gait. Other than breaking from the rail on Breeders' Cup, like I said, this horse will get out cleanly with the right post and likes to be in the race, but could also come from off a little bit, like in the American Pharoah. I just don't know how to explain that race other than, like, if you had told me it was an inside speed bias day, I would be willing to forgive it, but it wasn't. And look where the winner came from. Yes. So Happy was in the 3-path, kind of right next to him. And it's not like Intrepido lost by like this much and you can blame Brown loss. I mean, he lost by like a city block. Like he offered nothing in the lane. So that's what really concerned me. But look, Mullins the year that he's been having in Southern California has been phenomenal. We haven't really seen him with a horse on a national level in a long time. He made a snarky quote where he goes, I said I would never go back to the Kentucky Derby with a horse unless I thought the horse could win, because the last time I went with a horse who won, they scratched him on Derby days.
Right.
Do you remember that? It was like, I think it was I'll take another, or I'll have him. No, it was
no, he was the Derby. That was the Derby winner for O'Neill.
You know who I'm talking about. I forget who the horse was.
It was in that era for sure. I'll look that up and we'll button up the show with it.
My Derby knowledge is so terrible. I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
Well, your Southern California knowledge is fantastic, and you cover other tracks as well. But give the folks a little bit of a taste of what Detail Live is all about.
Yeah, Double Trouble Live. Me and my partner Kieran Thornton. We're gamblers, and we had an opportunity last summer at Del Mar to create a show based around the new player-friendly, low takeout, high minimum wagers that have now become the bread and butter of Southern California racing. So you have the $3 late pick 3 at Del Mar and Santa Anita. You also have the $5 late double at Del Mar and Santa Anita. And last summer was Del Mar's first time doing it, so they wanted to raise awareness, and we were like, well, we'll just do a show and we'll just bet it. What better way to raise awareness than to bet and win big? And it kind of took off from there. Pete, as you know, the game has gotten a lot harder for, typical horse players, guys like us and our audience, because there's better information out there. There's better technology. To beat the takeout these days, the normal takeout it's punishing. It's like you have to be so good, and the lower minimums I feel have been a major detriment to the intermediate to advanced level player, because it allows multiple combinations to be played by people who are lazy or have a high bankroll.
Yeah, well, right, and then this is another podcast, but feeds plays right into the hands of the computer players who can use that to bet everything perfectly efficiently, and there's just no meat on the bone with those low minimum.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that, but in this market, you can't do that. So that gives guys like us an edge. So we have a show. Go to doubletroublelive.com where we will go live for a sequence, and we will gamble in real time. We will look at probables, will pays, all real-time information to make an educated decision and gamble and bet.
Fantastic. Love it. Thank you for coming on. There'll be more collabs with us in the future. And for all the people screaming at the TV screen, hopefully I gave them enough time to drop it in the comments, because, the comments will help the algorithm. They're all saying, I want revenge. That's where you got it was, I want revenge. And the best part about it was, and I won't get into the particulars, but this is, I think, a funny little button for our piece here. There was a dispute between the man who originally owned the horse and the people who eventually owned the horse. And in retaliation, the original owner named another horse, Don't Sell Me to Felons, if you remember that.
Oh my God, I don't, but well, oh, wow. See, you get everything on this show.
Thank you, Frank. Keep it locked to the In the Money Media YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and check out Double Trouble Live as well.